Yo, what up? How you motherfuckers feeling? We're gonna go live with Mario Desa in a minute. We get Sharky in here in a minute. How's everybody feeling out there, alright? I'm in my new spot now. I don't know if you saw all the news, but we expanded. And this is my new station here. With all the flash and everything. Get Sharky in here in a second. Boom!
Hello, Rich Pie.
Hello, Sharky.
Bro, where's your hat?
I don't have a hat on today.
You don't have a hat on today. Holy shit. It's like seeing your dad with no beard. I'm like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, I usually wear a hat, but it was
man.
very hot. It was like 90-something degrees.
Oh, it's a New York summer. There it goes, dude.
Yeah, I was sitting in the yard.
How have you been? It's been 2 weeks since I've seen you. What's been going on? How was your Memorial Day?
Everything's chilling. You know me. I do the same shit. I stay in Queens. I do tattoos.
That's it.
I work through most of it.
And this is, I'm looking at behind, this is the new spot. This is the library.
There's a new station I'm in, yeah. Yeah. And Akira just announced yesterday that he moved up to the front.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, so
I love it.
everything's coming up roses. How you feeling?
I love it.
How was your Memorial Day?
Dude, my whole life changed in the 2 weeks. My life has been fucking nuts, man. I adopted a cat, first of all. I found a cat on the side of the road that got hit by a car. I took it to the vet. They took care of it. I adopted a feral cat. So now I'm a cat mom. Cat mom,
That's
dog
cool.
mom, bird mom.
That's cool. Cats and birds do not get along.
No, the birds are in a cage. The cat doesn't really know that the birds are there yet.
Yeah. Don't let the cat kill the birds.
No. They might. I don't know. And then Memorial Day, I got my throat tattooed. Sternum throat.
Oh, shit.
Got that done by Mr. Hooper.
It looks great.
He added a little bit more onto the head. And he's also working on some machines for me right now to kind of like assist in my black work and my dot work. And this is how much of a gentleman tattooer this guy is. He let me borrow his machine while he's building the machines.
He's a good guy.
Bro, the best kind of tattooers. I love that kind of stuff.
That's the best thing when you go to a tattoo shop and you're welcome there, and you know it's just all of a sudden it's like instant family. It's the best feeling.
Yeah, it's fucking magical. So I'm ready for my next dose of tattoo magic, and I'm for the first time doing this from my station. So just want to check.
I was about to say you're in a different spot.
Yeah, I'm not in my kitchen tonight.
So you literally are in a tattoo shop.
Big moves. I'm really in the tattoo shop.
Oh,
so if it all sounds good, let's continue. It sounds good?
I think it sounds good.
Yeah, let's do it, folks. Welcome to episode 9 of Welcome to the Backroom. We are fucking rolling. Tonight, we have a very special guest, definitely one of my favorite tattooers in traditional tattooing. We got Mario Desa here with us from Great Lakes Tattoo. And if you're ready, man upstairs, he should be in the room already. You see him?
I already started making moves.
It's done. It's done. Super excited. He has just finished putting his children to bed. It's time for grown-up talk. Let's get Mario in the room right now. Fuck yeah. Look at that.
What's up?
What up?
Welcome.
How you been, bro?
Pretty good.
Yeah, everything's going good?
Yeah, everything's good. Summer's in full swing. The city's alive again, you know. People are back. Tourists are back. The shop is crazy busy. So it's like COVID never happened.
I know. It's crazy. I went to a bar the other night, and it was like, I walked in, and one of my homeboys was like, knew somebody at the bar, and was like, do we have to put the mask on? And the guy was like, nah, I ain't the cops. Do whatever you want.
Oh, yeah. COVID's over. It's over.
Yeah. I'm hyped, to be honest. I'm hyped.
Me too, man. Yeah.
Well, Mario, we always start off the show with the same question. So we're just going to throw it right at you. Jump right in.
Uh-oh.
How would you define traditional tattooing? What does that word mean to you?
I think about this a lot, actually, because I try to explain it to people sometimes, like customers that maybe are misinformed or just confused about what it actually means, in my opinion. And maybe you guys would agree or not, but I think
Oh,
it's
yeah.
more than just a style or a look. But I think that style and look looks that way because men and women over the last 140 years figured out what works in the skin, and that's why it's drawn that way. But I think it also has to do with these designs and motifs and icons that actually are a living tradition because people have been getting that image or a version of that same image tattooed for 140 years. You know, if that makes sense. You know what I'm
No, it makes
saying?
perfect sense.
So much
Like that
sense.
one,
Yes.
that one Christ head, you know, that we're still doing now, that like Polito did, that, you know, through Jonesy, and Zeiss sold it to everybody, and like it goes way back to whatever. There
This
you
one,
go.
right?
There it
There you
is.
go. That's the one. But it's traditional because it's actually a tradition that for thousands of people have got that tattoo over the last 100 years or whatever. So I feel like sometimes people are confused, mostly a lot of tattooers too, I'm not gonna lie, but that it's more than just a style or a look. I think it also has to do with, and obviously, you know, we all like add things to the mix over the years or whatever. But I think I've been thinking about that a lot, especially because last year, you know, over the lockdown, we had a 3-month lockdown here. I really dove back into all that old Jonesy Flash, all the Polito stuff, all that Spalding and Rogers, Sailor Jerry, and I really wanted to ground myself again in that visual language, because I feel like some of my tattoos over the last 15, 20 years, I veered, looking back on them, I veered too far away, and I got a little too creative. I wanted to reel it back in. I threw a bunch of ink bottles away, colors I don't want to use anymore. Now that I'm seeing some tattoos that are 20 years old that I did, and it's like, oh, that extra shade of green didn't even matter because you can't even tell now. It looked cool then,
Right.
but you know, we're putting like 2 different pinks. Now it just looks like one pink or it's gone. So anyway, I kind of veered off the subject, but
No,
that was
you're
But
my
on
I've
the
long,
actually
right
noticed.
road.
I've
that's
noticed
my
that
long
about
answer.
I've noticed that about your tattoos as of late. Like I see like that real classic, and you're kind of like mixing a few things in. Like I remember you posted like a baby head, like the crybaby head the other day, but you like put like a real traditional like Jonesy style snake around it. Like you're kind of mashing that's the
Right,
like
with the 3D.
Yeah,
With the 3D on it, like from graffiti.
yeah.
Steve Byrne likes pink. I like pink too, Steve.
Yeah.
I put
Well,
it in a tattoo. I
yeah.
put it in the tattoo I posted today or yesterday.
You guys are getting dirty. See, the kids go to bed. Here we go. Start happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw that too. I was looking at like some of the stuff you had just been putting out. I was like, damn, this shit is looking tough as hell. Like this is looking old school. It's just so beautiful. But I feel like that
Thank you.
happened for a lot of us during
Mm-hmm.
COVID. Like there was a big reset. And I think that's why a lot of us are busier now than maybe we ever have been through this. That
Sure.
reset shows in your work, and then the clients are immediately drawn to that.
Yeah, motherfuckers came out swinging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, where'd you get that money from?
Oh, and well, yeah, they came out swinging.
I mean,
I'll tell you where they
Oh,
got
you mean the
from.
tattooers came out swinging?
Tattooers.
Yes.
Yeah. I think, yeah, I think I've always been kind of more of a PMA person, a optimist. So like, to me, it was like, well, I guess I have 3 months at home. I can either like whine about it, or, you know, I can refocus, think about everything, and look at my tattoos and just try to make a positive out of it. So I hope that's what I did. I feel good about it. Ever since we reopened about a year ago already. And so the last year I just felt real good about. I felt like refreshed in tattooing. You know, 3 months. I'm sure for all of us, it's the longest we've been away from it.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
so it was weird, but it was also felt kind of good when I got back to it. You know.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are really going through. I think that it's now that it's like really at the end, that it's ending. People have this feeling. I feel like a lot of people. I've been talking to my friends a lot about it. It's like this feeling of like, holy shit, what the fuck did we just go through?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
man.
You know what I
It's
mean?
like a world
now,
party.
yeah. So it's like now that it's like so it's kind of like I don't want to say it's it's almost has like a bittersweet quality, like because it's done and it's like all right, well it's like we're normal again, but it's like I don't know. I like I said, this thing like definitely affected my tattooing in a positive way, and I think I'll kind of look back at parts of it almost fondly.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
absolutely.
agree. I tried to make the best of it.
Yeah,
You know, it's like any kind of strange traumatic experience. You know, when you're going through it, your brain goes into survival mode, which tattooers are already kind of hardwired to be survivalists anyway and hustlers.
Yeah.
So we were kind of made, it's like us, the strippers and
At
the
least the good
bartenders were
ones.
like, but yeah, at least the good ones. You know,
Yeah.
the rest got cut off at the knees, which is fine. But then, you know, now that the trauma's over, your brain is trying to make sense of what all that is. It's trying to push it down. It's like, that didn't even really happen. But it did. But, you know, now we have like the great, you know, Flash renaissance. I saw like the best Flash and giant sheets come out of this. And
Right.
people who didn't sell work selling it now. I mean, it's beautiful.
Yeah. It's just a strange time. You know, I started going to restaurants again, and it's like, this is awesome. I'm at a restaurant.
Don't you
But
feel
then
weird
it's
though?
like, but then like all the staff is all masked still, you know. So it's like you're in a weird sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
You know? So it's yeah, it's just a strange time, man. I mean, I feel like it's something to live through. We're all gonna be talking about it forever.
yeah. I mean, I saw some dude on I don't remember what social media on, but he was like just some dude yelling like, "I want to stop living through historical events." You know what I mean? Like, it's really getting to that. You know, like
I mean, bro, between obviously between COVID and like the all the uprisings last summer and still, you know, and yeah, I mean, it's the Capitol, all that shit. I mean, I don't want to get into all that political stuff, but I mean, what a year, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
damn.
like my whole tattoo career, I feel like is pretty much filled with some crazy. You know, like I pretty much decided to start tattooing. Like I was fucking around a little bit, but I decided to start tattooing like when September 11th happened.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And that was like kind of like the beginning of me like saying, all right, well, I have a regular job and I don't want to do a regular job. I want to do something cool with my life. I see these motherfuckers jumping out of a fucking building, like. You know, like let's you know, I got to do something I want to do. You know, I'm a punk rock kid. You know, like so yeah, like and then you know, New York's been through. Obviously, the whole country went through this, but New York specifically has been through a lot of wild shit in the 20 years I've been doing this. And
I had just moved. I had only been in Chicago a couple months when 9/11 happened, and obviously, I mean, we didn't feel as much as you. I mean, the whole country felt it, but. You know, they locked down downtown here. They had soldiers all around the Sears Tower and all our big buildings and helicopters. You know, I mean, it felt weird, man. And business died off. Obviously, it hit business hard, and then it came back. In fact, the last Taz tattoo I ever did.
I love this.
Not non-ironic Taz, like a real
non-ironic
tattoo on a dude that's like, yeah. Taz is my guy.
Crazy.
Was a firefighter. He was a Chicago firefighter, but he got a firefighter Taz with Never Forget and a 9/11. And it was like, man, I'm stoked to do this, but it's like, is that really how you want to commemorate this?
Yes, the answer is yes. Like that's the tradition of tattooing because you don't need to draw some wild new image of this.
Yep.
Taz is fine.
Yeah.
Just put the block letters on it and forget about it.
Yeah. And at this point, I mean, 30 years later or whatever, I mean, Taz is a traditional design, or he's been on sheets longer than that. I mean, there's sheets from the 60s that they have a Taz on.
Yeah. They look
Yeah, I mean,
fucked up too. They look insane.
Those are my
I was
favorite
actually
ones.
talking about this pretty recently because I had done a sheet of Flash, and my, the walls of my shop are very, very, very like, balls to the wall traditional stuff. But I wanted to put a couple of, like, new things into the language. You know what I mean? Stuff that like have kind of become thing. Like I put like a Bart Simpson on a sheet and stuff like that. So that language always can, it gets rewritten.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That language, new things get added to that traditional tattoo language. That's why I think traditional tattooing is, a lot of it has to do with, like you were saying, who wore it and how many times it got worn.
That's why it's a folk art.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why Mickey Mouse is on there, and Popeye and Betty Boop and Felix the Cat and the Pink Panther. Yeah, and that's why those images are there, right? Because somebody at some point, either a tattooer was like, oh, everybody loves Mickey Mouse, I'll put him on a sheet. Or so many people were bringing in pictures of Mickey Mouse to get tattooed on them that it became a thing.
Well, that opens up a really good question about Flash, since we're on the topic and you've been tattooing well over 20 years. How do you feel about this idea of ownership of tattoo images, specifically when tattooers will paint a sheet of ripped off shit, and then say that it's theirs, and then tattoo it one time and cross it out and say that they're not able to do it again? What's your hot take on that?
I think that's whack.
Boom.
Yes, correct. Well, you've won the money. You've won the game. But I mean, what would you say to a young tattooer who's like, it's mine. I made it. Like, what would be your advice to that kid to kind of shake that out?
If it is actually their original image, then, they get to control it how they want, I guess. Although people are going to screenshot it and have whoever tattoo it on them. But like, you see these guys that like sell a line book, but the whole line book is like Zeiss Flash they traced.
Yes.
And it's like, or like from my original Flash, I post a tattoo picked from my Flash. That's a Spalding and Rogers design. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I mean, we all do it. I mean, I do Spalding and Rogers designs. I do all that stuff, but I don't claim it as my own. I don't sell, I put out a stencil book a few months back, and I was very careful to try to not have any images in there that were straight up Sailor Jerry or any Burt Graham or anybody else, just because like it's always kind of annoying to see that. But again, like if somebody's got a page of all original designs and they're like, it's a flash sheet, but they only want to do each design once, I think that goes kind of against the purpose of having Flash. But that's up to them because that's their design, I guess. I mean, people ask all the time though, like when they're looking at my Flash, because we're pretty lucky at our shop. We got a lot of people that want Flash and they want to come in, they want to pick, they make appointments for Flash, even like pre-COVID, like they make an appointment, they want to pick Flash, but they always want to know, like, did you do this one yet? Did you do this one yet? Did you do this one? Do you have a line book? And it's like, I don't have a secret stash. Like, if I want to tattoo something, put it on a sheet and it's on the wall. You're kind of defeating the purpose of the Flash. That's kind of what connects everyone throughout tattoo history, right? It was like, all those images. So yeah, I guess I would say off the cuff, I think it's whack.
The only time, like recently I had a situation where I posted something on Instagram, and it was the person's that it was a fairly it looked like it would have probably been a traditional tattoo design. You know what I mean? But it was the person's straight up their idea. Like, yo, I want this. Can you draw this for me? Yeah, I'll draw it for you. And I posted it on my Instagram. And then somebody else hit me up and was like, I want that. I was like, you know what? I was like, I got a million designs at the shop. I was like, that's that guy's idea.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to do that on you. That's his idea. I kind of did my take on it, but it was his original idea, So then I think it's okay. But when you start putting the Flash out and Xing off like, oh, this hasn't been done already. That doesn't make sense to me.
It makes
It's not
no
flash.
sense.
That's not
And
flash.
I
You're
know,
saying you're saying I got these 20 designs I want to do. Let's, you know what I mean? These are what I want to do, and I'm just going to do them one time each. And yeah, then
right.
that's a whole different thing.
Yeah,
That's not flash though.
right. And I totally agree with you. Like if it was the customer's idea, like to me that's his idea. Like he only asked me to do it, and I'm not going to do that his idea on anyone else. I know I've bummed some people out. I think they're wrong for being bummed, but when I have done a tattoo and then put it on a flash sheet, and then I'll tattoo it again on other people. But it's my idea, it's my design, so I feel like I can do what I want with it. You know,
that's different. Yeah, that's different. I've had the same people.
I have had that same thing too.
People got bummed out. Like you draw something and you kind of throw it in your line drawing book, and you're like, and then you do it, and you're like, oh, that was dope. Like, you know what I mean? And then you put it on
but
a
I
sheet.
can sell that again.
Yeah.
But,
They get so upset. They're like, that was for me. I was like, no, that was for us, baby. I was like, sorry.
I mean,
sorry.
Tattooers, going back, we're hustlers. We're trying to earn a living. We're trying to get over. There's always that carny mentality, right? Like that's what it goes back to. I mean, there's a reason those guys advertised and were featured in Billboard magazine, because they were part of the entertainment world. You know, it was like a thing that was like in circuses and carnivals and dime museums, and it was like an attraction, and it was cool. And I mean, it's cool when you still encounter, because I feel like it's a lot less than it was 25 years ago. 25 years ago, you met somebody and you told them you were a tattooer. They were like, couldn't believe they were meeting a tattooer. Like, you do? Yo, come here. This dude does tattoos. It was like weird. Now it's like, oh, cool, you do tattoos? Yeah. My brother's apprenticing, and my brother-in-law is a tattooer, and my sister used to tattoo. But, and it's like, it's not as unique. It's not as rare, I guess, anymore. So it's cool when you do still get that. I got that a couple weeks ago. We had a new washing machine delivered here at the house, and the dudes that delivered it, straight up, working class dudes, and they were like amazed that I was a tattooer, and they're like looking around at the artwork on my walls in the house, and asking for cards and stuff, asking how much for a sleeve, the whole bit,
Yeah.
And it was cool. I was like, it threw me off because it'd been years since anyone was like amazed by that. So it was cool.
the whole dynamic too changed. I remember, when I first started tattooing, it was like, if you told somebody you did tattoos, it was like, oh yeah, what else do you do?
Oh yeah, like, we were just talking about
what's
that
your other job? But now
it's like
you do tattoos, and it's like,
yeah.
Oh, you must be a millionaire.
Yeah, you're rich. You're rich.
Yeah. Exactly. Yep. It is different. We were just talking about that. We used to get that question all the time. So what do you do to pay the bills? Like, what are you talking about? You're about to hand me $150. Like,
right.
What do you think? What do you think is going on here? You see the room full of people waiting to also hand me $150? Like, what are you talking about? Yeah. I had a woman ask me that once. I was tattooing a woman 20 years ago. She's getting a little tiny rose for $40. And she asked me why I never went to art school. And I was like, how do you know I didn't go to art school? It's like, I did go for a year, actually. I didn't want to go back. It's like, oh, well, then how come you're not a real artist?
Ooh.
It's like, and nothing against anybody's job. She's wearing a Wendy's uniform coming from work. And it's like, you work at Wendy's.
Yeah.
Like, again, no offense to anybody that works at Wendy's. That's a hard job. I worked at McDonald's in high school, I know. But you're judging me, you're throwing this shade. It's like, it's just a weird, and that touches on something else. I don't want to get on a tangent here, but you guys could probably.
Please do. That's a huge facet of the back room is tangents. Go.
People, the general customer used to be more confrontational. They always were trying to rip you off a little bit, try to get a little extra for less money, try to run out without paying, do drugs in the bathroom. There was so much more and so it's like it's been hard. I shouldn't say it's been hard, but it's different now. Like to me, it's still like, what's up with this guy? What is he? It's like kind of confrontational still with the customer, where it's like I don't fully trust you until I've tattooed you like 5 times. Because now people are nice, they're respectful. Everybody's got like real professional jobs and money. They're not trying to like haggle with you like as much. It's very rare. Anyway, that made me think of that.
I think that you're right, but the trade-off is now instead of having these like wild ass motherfuckers that might rob you, you have this ultra professional that wants to art direct you. At least the guy who was going to hustle you was going to let you do what you were going to do because they knew
used
that
to
you
respect
knew.
you.
Yeah.
You were the tattoo
now
man.
That's gone.
Exactly.
Or woman. Yeah.
Yes. Now you have to like
true.
sell the fact that you know what you're doing
That's
every
true.
single time.
You're
But
not going to
again,
have to punch somebody in the face.
In those street shops and stuff, I'm pretty good at being like, I'm the expert. You got to let me do what I do. And I tell them straight up, I'm like, you saw my Instagram, you like my tattoos. Every single one of those tattoos, the person let me do my thing. Let me do my thing and you'll be happy. And then they're like, okay, cool. Because you're totally right, though. I mean, if I'm going to, it's just like, it never ceases to amaze. The customer never ceases to amaze, right? Like, there's always something.
Something new every time.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll be doing a rose on somebody and it's like, I'm doing the outlines. Like, so what colors are you thinking? It's like, it's a rose, so it's going to be red. And then the leaves will be green. Like, I'm not going to invent a rose for you. Like, what are you talking about? It's like, yeah.
And it's crazy now that the things that you are scared of, like not scared, but the things that you are nervous about, like years ago when I first started tattooing, I was like, all right, I'm going to work Saturday. I might get into a fight. You know what I mean? I might throw somebody out of the shop. Now it's like, I might get a bad Yelp review for that one.
Yelp.
Right.
You're going to say something. You're going to tell them.
Like, I'd rather fight you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The tides have turned, but who knows? I mean, maybe in Elon Musk's future, when the aliens come, whatever, there'll be more fights to fight again. There's
something about that sign that says tattoo on it that's like a beacon for people that are out of their minds.
Oh,
absolutely.
They'll find it. I don't think they even just see it. They can hear that neon buzz, 3 blocks away, and they're like following it. Oh, there it is. And yeah, it's, man. I mean, it's a lot less these days. I feel like, a lot of our customers, we love our customers, crazy or not, but, these days more people with, we get, a lot of people in marketing, advertising, tech people, all those kind of people, bankers, everybody's coming in now. We still get the service industry and all the regular working stiffs, but it's a lot less of, the city like New York, we've been gentrified to hell. So all the SRO hotels are gone. The couple that are left are like way out. They kind of push the homeless to certain areas, all that kind of stuff. So those kind of people you don't really get in the shop as much. Every once in a while, maybe, or you see them walk by and you're kind of like bummed they didn't stop in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how. I haven't been to your shop, Rich. So I know you're in Queens. I haven't been in that area. I don't know how gentrified that part of Queens has become.
It's getting there.
Yeah,
it's getting there. I mean, it's not fully gentrified yet, but I mean, we're 8-minute walk to Bushwick, and Bushwick is gentrified.
Okay.
It's
right.
It's very gentrified. I can't believe what's going on down there. I was in a bar there the other night, and I was with one of my homeboys who's from Flatbush, which is part of Brooklyn originally, and we were just looking at each other, and we were just like, these motherfuckers would have got killed. You know what I mean? These motherfuckers would have definitely got killed 10 years ago.
It's weird. I had that revelation here years ago. Don't get me wrong, man. Like, gentrification's a weird thing. I mean, I like brunch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you just have to travel for it. Brunch
a friend
taking over your neighborhood.
A few years back, we were getting brunch on this sidewalk at this restaurant. We're in the middle of this neighborhood called Logan Square here, which up until the early 2000s was gangbang, gangbanger central. One of the neighborhoods here that's like gangbanger central. And we're just sitting there and like, yeah, my homie KC is just like, man, 20 years ago you would have told me I'll be having brunch in the middle of Logan Square. I would have laughed in your face. This is insane. And it's like, yeah, it's just people with their puppies, and yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. And I first went to New York in '98, and so I got to see kind of the end of, I guess, what you guys would call the real New York. So to see it now is
Crazy.
Same with Chicago. I started coming to Chicago as a kid, and then came a lot in the '90s before I moved here. I mean, I've been here 20 years now, and it's crazy. It's like just insane what's happened to these cities.
And a lot of like, I mean, not to get off on a tangent about New York, but
Do it.
I'll go a little bit. Is that I keep seeing a lot of people, because listen, this pandemic did make shit a little bit more grimy. You know what I mean? That's just how shit gets. You know what I mean? But people are like, oh, like New York, like this is the worst I've ever seen it. Like, bro, if this. Did I come back?
You're back. You're back.
You're back. You're back.
I'm back. Sorry. For some reason, I'm blank. But if this is the worst you've ever seen it, you're not from New York.
That's
You know
right.
what I mean?
Right.
Like it's just like, it's not that bad. Like it's
Right.
worse. It's worse than it was a little bit ago, but it ain't. I mean, New
Right.
York is never going to be New York again. If it is, I'll
Yeah.
move. If the crack epidemic comes back, I'm out.
Well,
Yeah,
it's funny because people, it's kind of, I mean, even here, like, oh, Rich is gone. Oh,
He's
there you go.
back.
I
He's
had
there.
to click the thing to get my picture right up.
Even here, I mean, yeah, we hear it too. It's like people are like, oh, I don't know, Chicago's kind of dirty. And it's like, this is clean.
Yeah.
Like, do you understand? This is like clean Chicago. Like, it's not like
Mob war, bodies
Yeah,
in the
well,
street.
I mean,
Chicago.
and even just like garbage, there you'd see dead dogs on the street, rats, like this is the clean version, dude. What are you talking about?
Right.
That's why.
Well, that's because they're from fucking like Iowa, the middle of the country.
Yeah.
Like they're
Yeah,
used to, they're just, they
Yeah.
just don't know.
That's where
I mean,
most of our
Tony-
transplants come from.
Iowa?
Michigan, Indiana. I mean, I grew up in Milwaukee. I'm a transplant, but I've been here 20 years.
Yeah, you
I came
earned
here
it.
to become a Chicagoan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sharky, you're in
Tony-
Texas.
Yeah, I'm in Texas. I was born in Jersey, raised in Jersey, and moved to New York. So I'm an East
Okay.
Coast, tri-state girl.
Yeah.
But
My wife
I
is from
feel a
Jersey.
little more Texas every day.
Oh shit! I don't know if I like that.
I
You got
really
the Texas
do.
flow. You got the Texas flow.
It's fucking nice here. I might buy a horse. I don't know.
Well, let me say one thing about Chicago. Tony P, who I know I talk about often, but he had a big influence on me. He was from Crown Heights, which back then was called Pigtown, which is it was called Pigtown because it was where a lot of these pork farms were, and it was really, really grimy. When he was growing up in the 50s, in the 80s and 90s, when I was growing up, it was the wild fucking West. It was bad, bad, bad Crown Heights. It's gentrified now. But all Tony P would ever talk about was how bad Chicago, the 1 year he was in Chicago, how fucked up Chicago was.
Traumatized.
I think he was in Chicago in 68, and he was like, Chicago? Oh, Chicago. He couldn't believe it. So I guess 68, it was, these cities were rough.
Yeah, I mean that was a while ago. That was that was before I was born, obviously, or lived here, but yeah, that would have been the end of like the tattoo shops on South State Street and all that. But from what I understand, they were all run by Outfit. The mob here is called the Outfit. From what I hear, I mean they ran it, and you had to pay up to them.
Yeah, that's what Tony told me. Tony told me he was behind a shooting gallery, like an actual shooting gallery arcade. He's like, they had 22s in there, and like they would really be shooting rifles in there. And he was behind that tattooing, and he's like, and everybody was like George Raft. Everybody had a gun. I don't even know who George Raft is.
Yeah, I was about to say, who the fuck is George Raft?
I don't know.
Okay.
But
I don't know who that is either.
Some tough
I guess
guys.
some like old gangster
Yeah,
movie
I'll
I want to
Google
say
it
they
in a
mentioned
minute.
George Raft in like Sopranos in some reference to like, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, since we're going back, since you're already thinking we need to go back a little bit, could you give us a taste of a little bit of your history? You can give us the long version or the short version. But Jess, I know you have a graffiti background, hip hop background, something that you and Rich both share in common that
Yeah.
definitely comes through in your attitude and your work. So you want to kind of start there and kind of get to how you got broken in and where you are now?
Yeah. I think Rich and I have talked about this in the past, and we're about the same age. I was 7 years old, 8 years old in 1982, 1983. And, hip hop culture, rap, graffiti, breakdancing, all that exploded. So even in the Midwest, I mean, it was everywhere. It was, and I just fell in love with it. I was like, this is mine. Like the Beatles and all that shit, that was my parents. I was like, fuck that. Like, this is me. This is my generation. Me and my brothers tried to break dance. We would draw on bubble letters right away and stuff.
That's awesome.
The first album I ever bought, like that I owned, was a tape on the cassette was Beastie Boys' License to Ill. And, it was just like Run DMC, all that stuff. So that was my first love. And that's still my soul music. That's what I go to. So I've always had that mentality. So in my mind, whatever I'm into, because hip hop, every aspect of hip hop is like a sport. Like graffiti writers, you're battling other graffiti writers. It's all a race. It's all a challenge, right? Whether you're a rapper, a DJ, breakdancer. So I guess I've always had that mentality. And growing up around, I grew up in an area that had a lot of gangs and stuff like that. So there's always, I guess, that mentality. So then late in middle school, I got into like skateboarding. My mom got me out of the neighborhood, all of us. We lived in the hood still, but she got us into good schools in good neighborhoods that we were bused to. So then I met these, like kids. Like I had never been around white people or black people. It was all Latino where I lived. It was almost all Mexican. So then I go to this middle school, and it's like mostly white and black, and there's like 5 Latino kids. But anyway, so then I meet these white kids, and they're into skateboarding, and they're into like the Sex Pistols, and all that stuff. And I'm like, I hear the Sex Pistols and the Misfits and like the Cure, and I'm like, man, this stuff's amazing, and it's so different. And I think innately, I always want to be different. I don't like to be stereotyped or boxed in. So like, I go to this school, or even in my neighborhood, it's like, well, I don't want to be like these guys, like a stereotypical Mexican in the hood, and like these guys think that's what I am. So like, and at the same time, I genuinely just fell in love and was fascinated by skateboarding and all that music. So then that comes in the mix, and through that, I always like to draw, and then skateboard graphics heavily influenced my drawing, which again kind of fit into tattoos and tattoo style. Without even knowing it, I was already kind of absorbing that. And then you see a lot of punk rock guys and skateboard guys that were all tattooed. So I think subconsciously it was all there. And I started kind of wanting tattoos as a teenager and thinking they were cool. And knowing, I mean, then it really was still rebellious. I mean, it's not rebellious anymore.
Absolutely not.
No, it doesn't have that same impact.
No.
That it did at all. I mean, I got my first couple tattoos on my forearms. This is in '95, and even in '95, my friends were like, "Dude, are you nuts? You got to start
were fucking Taz.
You got to put it up here." Well, it wasn't even. No, my friends were cool, but they're like, "What? They're like, you got to get them up here, dude. What are you doing? You're crazy." And I was like, "No, fuck that. Like, I'm gonna get sleeves anyway. Like, I don't want to be part of anything mainstream at all. I don't want to, even if I'm end up a bum, like I just don't want to, I was so heavy into graffiti. I got into graffiti when I was 16, like real heavy. And graffiti was the first thing. It was the first time that I felt truly free.
Wow.
truly free. Skateboarding gave me that a bit, but I wasn't that good at skateboarding. And with graffiti, I was pretty good. I did a lot, I put in a lot of work, and it was the first time I got like admiration and respect from my peer group as a whole. Like in the city, people that didn't know me, even they knew the name. That was the first time that I felt like proud of myself for something. And the first time people were like giving me props, like, "Oh, you're really good at that." Like you know what I mean? So it was, and at the same time, it was the only thing that made me feel free. It's hard to understand. I mean, I know Rich, I know you wrote. It's hard to understand if you've never written graffiti, that feeling. I mean, there's people that get it other ways, of course, but it's just absolute freedom. You don't, nothing, once in your head, you're like, oh, anything that's in a store that I want, I just take it.
Yeah.
It's mine.
Yeah,
I decide it's mine, and then I just have to sneak it out. Anything I want to write on, anything I want to climb on, anything I want to hide in or whatever, like the world, you know, dude, when Nas said the world is yours, I felt like he was talking to me. I was like, nobody ever said that before to Black and brown kids. Right. So it was like, damn, like, yes, the world is mine. And graffiti gave me that. That was the first time that I really, skateboarding, like I said, first a little bit, mentally freed me a lot. But yeah, graffiti was, I still love it. I mean, I don't do it anymore. Other than every once in a while, with permission. I don't do anything illegal anymore. I haven't in years, but I love it. It's still, I would never, if my life went to complete shit, I lost my wife, my kids, everything, I would start writing again. I would just go bombing crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, it's something very magical about. I was obviously not as deep into it as you are. I hung out with a lot of kids that were really deep into it. But there is something magical about getting, like, I don't want to say fame, but it's almost like a street fame that's like, that nobody else understands. And I think that's what draws us to tattooing also. It's like, yeah, we kind of have like this, we could kind of be like this known guy or this known girl in this world. And it's like, yeah, but when you go to Walmart, like, nobody gives a fuck if you're
nobody knows who the fuck we are.
You know what I mean? Like, nobody gives a fuck. But you know what I mean? But like,
they only care until you tell them like how much you charge. And then they're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. But there's something magical about being a known associate of inside that world, like inside that bubble, like you know, like,
and the local god.
And because there's a work ethic, like that's what a lot of you know, it's easy. Obviously, society hates and dismisses graffiti, but like, you know, people don't understand. Like when you see a guy's name 1,000 times. That's 1,000 times that guy stood right there and did that work.
Yeah.
And it's not even just about what led to doing that one piece or that one fill-in or whatever. I mean, he had to like climb something, hide over here. Maybe a dog chased him. Maybe some hero was calling the police. Like he had to rack that paint that morning. You know, like there's so much more to it. That there's so much work. It's exhausting, really. There's so much work ethic that goes into it, and tattooing is very similar, especially 20 years ago, you know, scrubbing tubes, obviously making needles, people that mix their own pigment or all that. Now obviously it's still a craft, there's still a lot of work, but I don't know if all these people would be tattooing if they had to go in at 9 a.m. and scrub tubes.
Yeah, there was a lot more work involved in putting a tattoo on when I started. You know what I mean? There's a lot more work to be put, you know, and Rob and Dave, who taught me, like, they were very, very, at that point, were really, really purists. So like, you were making your needles. Like, you ain't going to buy needles. You know what I mean? Needles are $5 a piece from home. Are you crazy? You ain't going to buy $5. You know what I mean? It's a $25, $30 minimum at that back then. You know what I mean? You're going to pay $5. You had 2 needles. You got to use a liner and a shader. That's $10.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's like a big, great debate, especially in my mind with traditional tattooing, because those things and that work ethic are, to me, a big piece of what makes you a proficient tattooer. And as time seems to have gone further, that it's not even necessary to have those pieces in your arsenal or on your utility belt. So it's
Right.
like, I just feel like it's, even though sometimes people are really good at their traditional tattooing craft, it's like a washed down, watered down version of it.
Right. Right. Absolutely. And it kind of goes back to what we touched on before. And disclaimer, I don't want to knock anybody. I got homies I might be describing. I'm not knocking anybody, but you know, they're doing a traditional looking tattoo, but if you're doing 1 or 2 a day in your private studio, you know, like, is that really fully a traditional tattoo? Like, to me, I love tattoo shops. Before I knew I wanted a tattoo, I fell in love with the tattoo shop, being there, the whole vibe. That's what's killed me about this COVID thing the last year, is the whole vibe of the shop is off, you know? But again, if you can make a beautiful traditional style tattoo, but I have no interest in hanging out in your private studio. I don't even want to visit. Like, what's magical about it?
Yeah, I mean, tattoo shops are tattoo
Same.
shops have a magic that you can't duplicate. You know what I mean? Like the private studio vibe. Like, I get it in a certain sense. I mean, we've actually just expanded my shop that it includes private studios.
I'm not dissing
Well, it's not
Akira or anybody else.
No,
I'm not dissing anybody.
But it literally is like a storefront. You know what I mean? It's just really more.
It's
It's an appointment only thing more than it is a private studio. But
right, it's not hidden somewhere.
It's not hidden. Yeah, it's got signage and everything. But it's but the actual, like, to walk into a tattoo shop, whether it be an appointment only, private, like, to have the flash on the walls. I mean, you know, kind of when you come to my place to smell the cigarettes. You know what I mean? Like, and like the green soap and everything. Like, there's something magical about that. Like, that's part of it all. You know what I mean?
That's what's cool about when you visit an old tattoo shop too, that's been there for a few decades.
Yeah.
And you just feel that it's like going back in time, man. I went into this would have been about 2009. I was up in the Twin Cities, and I got to go meet Don Nolan at his shop in St. Paul. And I mean, it's 2009, so it was like MySpace era. Facebook's coming in. Social media is definitely starting to play a big role in tattooing and everything. But every sheet of flash in there. So it was Don, his wife ran it, and Don kind of had his own room. And then he had a couple younger guys, like probably my age, working, maybe younger. No computer in the shop. No internet allowed. They all had to mix their own ink. They used proprietary ink. They all had to make needles. Couldn't order any needles. All the flash on the walls was hand painted. And I'm looking, and it's like Cherry Creek and Tattoo Brand sheets, but Don Nolan had repainted them.
Right.
And you know, he had to approve. Like, one of the dudes was doing a tattoo. He had to bring his customer in, show him the stencil, and Don had to be like, okay, go ahead. And then he was allowed to do the tattoo. And it was just like, blew my mind. It was like I was back in time, and it was amazing.
That's so awesome that you were able to experience that. I can't even imagine.
And I daydream about that sometimes. Like, man, if we could have no computer in the shop, that'd be so. Like, I
like that idea. Like, I'm here right now. It's nighttime. I can unplug it and hide it and just see what happens tomorrow.
Right.
I mean, that's why I as often as I can, although I haven't really all that much during the pandemic, as often as I can, I go to Mike Perfetto's. I mean, Mike Perfetto's, you get that vibe. You know what I mean?
I have to visit, man. I haven't visited Mike's yet.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you want to come to New York, you know you're welcome here, and we'll go hang out at Mike's, and we'll go, eat right in Brooklyn. But it's just like this long, cavernous. I mean, like, it's built even wrong for today's standards, because it's like all waiting room. You know what I mean? It's like it's
Right.
all waiting room. He works in the size of a bathroom. You know what I mean? Like his room where he works is the size of a bathroom, but it's a huge space, and it's just like there's a long hallway. You know, flash racks upon flash racks upon flash racks. A lot of the stuff you're saying, which a lot of people of that generation did, they took the sheets and repainted them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
They took they took the duds off the sheet. You know, if you had 3 Cherry Creek sheets, you take the good designs off these 3 and put them all into one. Put them
Right.
all on one sheet and put the and like, yeah, I try to go there as often as I can. I try to duplicate that feeling in my place because it's like, that's why we're all hand painted and everything here. It's just like that vibe. There's something very, very magical about it.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have all our own flash hanging up in our shop, and then we have a ton of old, antique sheets hanging and stuff. And yeah, people all the time, man, they're like, man, you guys got a cool shop, blah blah blah. I'll be like, yeah, it's all originals. And then you see them like, oh, these are all originals. Like, yeah, everything on the wall is original. Like, whether it's a Mike Malone sheet, an Ed Hardy sheet, a Tats Thomas sheet, like, or it's our stuff, like, everything's original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My shop is the same.
And they you could see that it sinks in, and they're like, oh shit, and then they almost act like they're in a museum now. Like their demeanor kind of changes. Like,
But
I
it's
gotta
like
be
this
careful
is the
what I
real
touch.
shit now. Like,
Yeah.
step up your game.
And
You're
it's
in
like
the
you can
real. You're a
go,
temple.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, no, this isn't your buddy's tattoo shop.
Yeah, we take this serious.
Yeah.
We take this very serious. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now I saw getting back into Flash for a second. I know a couple people have been saying they want to hear about your machine, so we'll get to that in 1 second. But
Yeah, absolutely.
I saw over I don't know if it was over quarantine or so, but you were painting the old Spalding sheets. I love doing it.
Yeah. It's so much fun, man. And that was
The
part
best.
of me retraining my brain again. And
Thank you.
and just trying to rememorize almost like, and I love that the black's already there because that's where it should be.
That's where it goes.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
and again, a lot of times customers like, oh, you're gonna do here, and I always tell them like, I'm gonna put the black where it's supposed to go.
Yes.
Right.
And then I'll put the color wherever else. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Because
Like,
the color doesn't have a specific way that it's like correct. Like the black has a way that it's correct.
The right amount of skin showing. I can't tell you how happy and encouraging it is to hear you both saying this because I'm, a much younger tattooer than you. I've only been tattooing 11 years.
okay.
But I feel like when I try and have this conversation with my peers, they think I'm crazy or that I'm lazy. Like when I talk about like, hey, let's get all these sheets and do the same exact designs and just paint them different. It's just like, well, why wouldn't you draw your own designs? Why don't you do something that's unique? Like every tattooer in Austin right now is just trying to make these old school designs look like a fucking acid trip. And it's like, well, you don't have to fucking do that. Like you don't have to like pixelate the Sundancer. Like you could just redraw that and repaint it and leave it as is because that's how you carry on tradition. I feel justified hearing all this.
You're
This
justified.
is great.
As a
I
matter
feel
of fact,
justified.
I'm going to say this, and this is another thing that a lot of people didn't do. I don't know what Mario did. When you do like a Spalding design, do you trace it, or do you just run the black, like the design right off the sheet with the black in it? I run the black. And people will be like, "Oh, you got that look down." It's like, yeah, of course I get the look down.
It was on the fucking stencil.
It was
No,
on
I
the pencil.
do a line draw. I trace it.
Oh yeah, see, I run it right through that black.
You're nuts,
Yeah, no,
Richie. That's because you're
I trace
crazy.
the line, yeah. I didn't even think of doing that. Maybe
No.
I'll see how it goes.
You're
Yeah, I
the
just
first
like
person I've ever heard say that,
If
Richie.
you pick it over Spalding sheet and it's got the black in it already, I'm running that stencil just like that.
Right.
You know
Well,
what I mean?
the ones I show them are usually colored in already.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but I mean, we do have a lot of the blank ones too. I think it's funny when I see sometimes in pictures of people's shops, like younger tattooers want to be old school and stuff, and they hang all those sheets up, but they just leave them in black, and it's like, color that shit. They're supposed to be colored. That's why they sold it. Like, color the like. I know
I
that
think
they
it looks
they're
cool when it's just black.
I think they're just lazy. I think the young tattooers are lazy anyway. But
I fell back. Now I'm lazy again. It happened. We're
no,
going circle.
you know what? You're over the 10-year mark. You're over the 10-year mark. You're good.
All right. I got the stamp of approval. Mario says I'm not lazy, so shut your mouths, folks.
Once you hit 10 years, then I'm going to listen to what you got to say. Before 10 years, you don't really get an opinion.
Fair enough.
It's fair. It's fair.
That's fair. I
Well,
still
that's
just
how
roll
I
with
felt
it.
coming up too. I was like, I
Huh?
just kept my mouth shut, you know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, people would ask me all the time, like, how did I become friends with all them old timers? Like, how did I become such good friends? It's like, because I was barely. It was like I was barely there. I was just the dude standing there. I never said anything. You know what I mean? 3-4
Right.
years, I didn't say shit. They just
And
said,
eventually
hey,
you get invited to dinner.
Yes.
I get invited to dinner.
That's how it happens. When you
Yeah.
get the dinner, that's it.
Yeah. I mean, I just didn't say shit. I just listened. Like I was, what's that old expression? Like, open mouth and never hears or something, whatever the fuck. I don't know. Some fucking,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
yeah.
Eyes, ears open, mouth closed.
Yeah, that's how I figured all this old shit out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Listen to those dudes that did it already. You know what I mean? And then when we do stuff like this and we're talking, 20 years from now they'll be listening to that and say like, that's how they figured it out.
Yeah.
That's tradition.
That is it. I agree. Well, I mean, I guess we need to just crack into it because everybody wants to talk about machines. I do too. Machines, and then I also want to talk about kind of like your daily process because I'm always really fascinated with tattooers, especially like 20+ year tattooers that have family and have kids and still crush it. Like, I'm like, what does your day look like? But let's talk about machines. I guess let's talk about how you started building them, anything.
So I'm by no means a machine expert or anything. There's way more people that know a lot more about machines than me. But I want to say from the beginning, from the first year I was tattooing, I was tinkering and trying to figure it out and there was no information, but if I could find a little something in a magazine or something where they talked about machines, I try to like soak it up. I've never been a real handy person. I can't fix anything. I installed a thermostat in my house and I was so stoked that I did that.
I think that's amazing.
I had to YouTube it and then like do it real slow.
Yeah.
That's the extent of my technical abilities, but I can tune a tattoo machine to work how I like it to work. And luckily, a lot of people, I've got a lot of good feedback on the machines that I've been selling the last few years. I got them, and sometimes people ask like, I want a liner that does this. I'm like, look, I only know how to tune them one way. If you use 8s, 9s, and 11s, this is the liner for you. Otherwise, you got to see somebody else. And I'm not trying to. I'm okay with being. I'm okay with that. It's like you have choices. People have choices. It's like with tattoos. It's like I don't care that I can't do portraits. I don't feel bad about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Like. This is what I do. This is what I'm good at, and if you want it, I'm here.
Yep.
But yeah, I fucked around with them a lot. I learned a lot from machines from Jeff Zuck.
Hey.
Jeff and I met. I'd been tattooing probably about 5 years when I met Jeff, and we're the same age. Our birthdays actually, he's 1 day older than me, and we hit it off right off the bat. Right off the bat, like instant friends, tattooed each other. We hung out and like literally we drove to Kinko's and color copied each other's portfolios. I still have that version of his portfolio, just to influence each other and play off each other's stuff.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was awesome. And then he was so far ahead on like, he's such a thinker, and he second guesses himself a lot, which is a good quality. So he's always revising. I'm sure his machine theory now is way different than what he was showing me back then. But meeting him was huge, and he kind of showed me like, I was using machines already that I had built for myself, and he was kind of like, this is all wrong, dude. Like this is why your outlines heal like this, or your color's not going in as good as it should because of this. So he really set me straight on a lot of machine theory, and the way that he kind of showed me how he set up liners to push bolder lines. That's still the way I set things up. That's how I've always done it. So I probably owe him a check, but yeah. So it's just something I was always kind of interested in. And to be honest, again, I'm no expert, and it took me a few years to even be okay with the idea of like producing a machine to sell, because I don't want to step on any toes. I don't want anybody to be like, who's this guy? Thinks he can sell machines, like he knows something. And
Right.
again, I'll be the first one to tell you, I don't know everything about a machine. I'm still always tinkering with my shaders. I feel like I'm never happy with my shaders. And then people are like, this is my favorite shader. It's like, really? Okay, cool. Like, yeah, it's something that I wanted to do because I felt like I heard from a lot of people that they wanted to make lines like I did, and they couldn't find the right liner to do it. So I first sold a liner. I also sell shaders now, but I feel like liners are my main thing. And yeah, also, I have a mortgage. I have 3 kids, 2 in daycare, 1 in college. I mean, you don't like it? Sorry, fuck you. Unless you're gonna pay my daycare bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, machine builders can be a funny bunch.
Yeah.
They can be a bit territorial.
Yeah.
I remember when I was doing some
I got a
machines.
couple little, like eye roll things. It's like, hey, that's how tattooers are, I guess. And it's like, what are you worried about? You're a fucking master builder. Like,
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a machine builder. I'm a machine assembler, tuner.
That's
more
what
than
I am. That's what I am.
and,
I don't fabricate anything myself.
right.
And again, to me, I mean, that kind of like made me feel self-conscious about selling a machine as well. But then it's like fucking Owen Jensen and Zeiss and those guys, they weren't fabricating shit.
No.
Yeah, so I guess I in no way claim to be any kind of Paul Rogers. That's a whole other kind of builder. Call me Zeiss or something. Right. That's fine.
Right. No, that's the same. I feel the same way. Like you hand me an old National machine, I can get it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I can get it running like a rape date. But I'm not. My partner Dave, when we were building some machines, he was doing some metal fabrication and stuff. But somebody needs to tune it. You know what I mean? Like it's
Right.
somebody needs to make it run the way it needs to. You know what I mean? So it's. I mean, I am a purist in some ways, but then like the purity test that some of these tattooers have is a little extreme to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, all right, you're making your own fucking screws. Great. You know what I mean?
Right.
Great. Fucking rack them at Home Depot and come on.
Paul Rogers didn't do that. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so true.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because it's like, I mean, a little off subject, I guess, but it's the same thing. It's like Paul Rogers and Sailor Jerry didn't have bodysuits.
No.
Right. Paul Rogers didn't even have a back piece. Like Sailor Jerry barely had tattoos on his legs. So it's like, some guys get real hardcore about that, like.
Yeah. Tony P's my idol. He had 6 tattoos.
Yeah, right. And I love that. I actually love that.
Yeah.
And I love those pictures. I feel like you see a lot of those old New York tattooers. A lot of those guys, they had like tops of the forearms, bicep, maybe a chest eagle, but they look so tough that way.
Yeah, that's a vibe.
It almost looks tougher. It looks tougher than having a bodysuit in some way. It's a weird thing.
Yeah, bodysuit was expensive back then. The bodysuit's expensive now, but I mean, like, if you had one, it meant that you were traveling everywhere and doing all that. These fucking guys didn't leave their little square. That was it.
Well, I also think that they were busy. They were super busy. There was only, especially New York guys, there was only fucking 8 of them. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so they're super busy. They're not hanging out in a tattoo shop with other tattooers. There was no such thing as a tattoo shop with more than one tattooer.
That too.
You know what I
True.
mean? I
True.
mean, so we're sitting here, you know, and she gets like, yo, you want to do this on me? And you know, like you know, we're trading tattoos with our coworkers. They didn't have that luxury. Like, I tattooed Tony like 3 times when I was working at his shop because there was another tattooer in the building. He was like, hey,
Yeah.
why'd you put this on? You know what I mean? Like, he was, you know, he was excited to have another tattooer in the same room.
Yeah.
You know, that just didn't, you know, like, he worked with his nephew later on, but like through the course of you know, the 70s and 80s when it was really like old Calcutta, that he was by himself.
Right.
All those were by themselves.
Yeah. It's kind of a trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. It's like, oh, damn, because now I'm looking like I'm judging people harshly. I'm like, where are your fucking tattoos? You know, like,
The first
does
year
it
I
matter?
tattooed. So I know New York City was illegal until 97, right?
Yeah.
Like 60 something to 97.
64 to 97, yeah.
Okay, so Milwaukee, where I grew up, was also illegal from the mid 60s to 98. So the first year that I tattooed in my apartment. And me and my brother, he goes by Pooh Bear. We started tattooing at the same time, and so at one point we had like a studio space that we rented from a friend of mine. It was like inside his band practice space. He was in a hardcore band, and they would have shows there and stuff. And then we had a room that we rent. I paid him $75 a month for this room where my brother and I could tattoo.
Shout out to Pooh Bear. Shout out to Pooh Bear because he always stops by the shop.
Yeah, you know him. You know my brother.
Yeah. He always comes by and hangs
Oh,
out.
Pooh Bear. Okay.
And he went and saw Mike. And got the side of his head tattooed by Perfetto.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Which was awesome. Yeah. But yeah, I worked off a pager, man. I had cards with my pager number.
That's awesome.
And I was pretty busy. I was busy right off the bat. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, and I was busy, and tattooing went legal. I started summer of 97. October 1st of 98, it became legal. 40 tattoo shops open in a city of 600,000 people. And my pager never went off again.
There it is.
Literally.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it.
I mean, luckily by that point I had secured a job in a shop. So I started working in a shop right off the bat. But I was like, damn, ain't that a bitch? It's just like we don't need that guy anymore. We have 40 shops to choose from, right?
I mean, a lot of the New York guys that were illegal there the whole time, they really fought against the legalization.
Yeah.
Like, they had a great thing going. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't want to, you know.
One of the main people who fought for it in Milwaukee for years, this woman, I can't think of her last name, this one named Melissa. She owned a store that was kind of on a hip side of town for a long time. That was a leather shop, like leather and fetish shop, and they did piercing there because piercing was legal. And she fought for it for years and finally became legal. And she put a couple tattooers in there, and quality tattooers. She used to have Adam Safari come to town and tattoo. Like, he did a bunch of tattoos on her. And then she couldn't even make enough money to keep her store open because so many shops opened. You know, it bit her in the ass. It bit her in the ass that she helped legalize it.
Well, that's what they all say about Coney Island Freddie. Like, Coney Island Freddie was one of the main guys that fought to get New York City open. He would always say that he was going to have license number 1. Like, he wanted the licensing, you know, he was around. He wanted number 1 on his license, and I guess he got the 1 on his license, but he moved to Florida like 4 or 5 months later. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'm exaggerating, but like, it wasn't good for him. You know what I mean? Right. It wasn't, you know, he was, you know, the only game in town for so long. And then all of a sudden you got, you know, New York City, this is like a mecca of tattooing. Like, people are going to come here and open shops when you can.
Yeah. Good and bad. I mean, I was on St. Mark's in the late 90s when there was tattooing in every little t-shirt store.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife got her ear pierced in one of those little t-shirt shops on St. Mark's.
Fucking Andromeda.
That might have. I'm gonna ask her if that's the one.
That was like the big. Everybody's like Andromeda.
She said the guy was like eating curry, and like seemed annoyed that he had to put his curry down to do her piercing.
Yeah, that was probably it.
Yeah.
Speaking of tattoo magic, and then we'll get into your daily routine. But speaking of tattoo magic, today I tattooed the guy who introduced me when I was 15. I tattooed him and his son. I used to hang out with him back in the day. And when I was 15 years old, I was like, "Yo, you guys know any tattooers? Like, I want to get a tattoo." I was 15 or whatever, and at first I had called Pete Quinto, who Sharky worked for, and he told me to fuck off because I was 15.
Sounds right.
And so I asked this other dude, Timmy, who was here today, and I tattooed him. I was like, "You know any tattoos?" He's like, "Yeah, I know a biker guy in Ridgewood," and that was Rob Freund. So I tattooed him for free. I tattooed the guy for free today. He still gave me money, but I was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna charge you. I wouldn't be a tattooer if you didn't give me that business card."
Yeah, that's dope.
You know,
shit.
That's dope. Yeah.
That is the magic of tattooing. It's just this eternal. It's always like whenever we look back at our careers, it's always like one little thing could have gotten in the way of us going any further. It's so fortuitous. Like you make this one little decision or this one person you meet. It's crazy.
Right. And that's why it can feel like tattooing chose us.
Yes. It always feels like that.
Yeah.
Yep, sure. Yeah, there's a lot of magic involved in this shit.
Yeah.
You know what
Feel
I mean?
very indebted to it. Very.
Yeah.
For sure.
But that's why we protect it so viciously, you know?
I owe it everything. Literally everything. I met my wife because I tattooed her. I mean, everything I have, I owe it to tattooing because I come from nothing. I had no other options other than being a cook in a kitchen, which is what I was doing. I was a prep cook. You know, my grand plan when I was 19, 20 was like, oh, maybe I could be a bus driver. That'd be tight because then I could bomb the bus.
Yeah,
it's not that bad. For real, that was my master plan.
Yeah.
That was my master plan. I could
this is cooler.
And listen, there's a lot of noble like jobs like bus drivers and like my dad wanted me to be a sanitation worker in the worst way. Like he would just in my neighborhood we call it the Goomba lottery. You get a sanitation job, you're good. You know what I mean? But like he would always say, like, yo, get a city job, get the sanitation. It's like that would be that's great for some people. For me, I would have drank myself to death at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just not for me. Like I need to be creative.
That's what kind of that kind of bugs me. You know, and this a lot of this sounds like I'm dissing people personally. I hope no one's taking it personally, but there's so many people doing this now that had other options that they went to college or could have, or they could have done this, and that. I'll do tattooing because it's cool. It's not like a real job. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
It always kind of bugs me. There's a lot of rich kids doing this now.
Yeah.
A lot of rich kids doing it.
I believe in my heart that they'll just get washed out. Like, I think that this will pass this, fantasy life tattooer. It's just like a fetish for them.
I think for some it will. I've already witnessed it in a couple people just that not that I know personally, but that I know of. Yeah. Where it's like they finally end up, going to like back to business school or something, or their parents have been hounding them for so long. Like, okay, stop fucking around and come and do this job now.
See, like for me, for you, I think for everybody in this room, it's like I'm a nobody from a neighborhood of nobodies. You know what I mean? Like that's where I'm from. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's where I'll always be from. So to be able to become somebody even if it's this business, like that, I owe this shit everything. Like
I'm a first generation American. Like my mom raised 5 kids by herself on welfare, and then managed to go to school and become a teacher's aide. And I come from a neighborhood that when I told them where I was from, they made a face. And it was like a neighborhood people drove around. They avoided it. Now it's becoming gentrified. But now it's cool. But they, man, I owe it everything. That's why I love it. I love it. And I try to do right by it. I hope people see that,
Oh, we do. We do. You're one of the greats, in my opinion. Like, it's just.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Amazing.
Thanks. I just try. I always try.
You just work hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all you have to do in this business if you really, really want to succeed. Is just got to work your fucking ass off. You know what I mean? Like, there's too many people There's a lot of people skating by right now.
Yeah,
You know
man,
what I
I
mean?
can't stop for a fucking lazy like a real lazy tattooer. I mean, it's like I argue with people over that
I
shit.
mean,
Like, they're
we
around.
just started accepting walk-ins last week at the shop again. You know, now that COVID's winding down.
Yeah.
Man, it was the best. It was awesome. You know,
Yeah.
I did 6 tattoos on Saturday. It's the most tattoos I've done in a day in over a year, and I was stoked.
Yeah.
You know, every day last week I did 4, 5, or 6 tattoos, and it was like, yeah, this is it. You know, like it's the best.
And
Yeah.
is that like normal for you? Like, is that like getting into your process? Are you just trying to be walk-in guy? Or are you doing appointments? Do you draw in the morning? Like, what's your thing?
I do a mix. If I could, I always said, if I could, my dream would be to just do walk-ins, only flash.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Whether it's my flash, old flash, you know, maybe a custom thing here and there that's within the realm of that flash.
Yes.
I'm hoping that when I'm an old man, and hopefully people will still want to get tattooed by me, and I can make my own rules a little more. I'll be like, flash only, walk-ins only, arms only. You know, if that's cool by you, let's do it.
Yeah.
But no, we take at the shop. We have a kind of a way we do things. So we book 3 appointments a day. In between those appointments, walk-ins. There's a couple guys. We have a couple guys that do a lot of larger work, and they're like all appointment. Sometimes they'll do a walk-in here and there to help out if we're real busy or something. But most of us, yeah, we mostly walk-ins. It's a good mix of walk-ins and appointments. And people are into it. I feel like there's kind of been a resurgence in the customer thinking walk-ins are cool. Like they want to say they got this as a walk-in. You know, like it's like they were able to get in. Like, yeah, I got in as a walk-in, and I picked it off the wall, which is what real tattooing is anyway. You know, like that's how it's always been. So it's kind of funny that now it's kind of become a thing.
Yeah, it's niche now. Like
it's
now,
weird. This is the thing.
Yeah.
It's weird that people make appointments with me. Well, I don't draw anything in advance because nobody ever gets anything fucking custom from me. You know what I mean? Like, we're at once in a blue, but it's like you're making an appointment to come walk in and pick it off the wall.
Yeah.
It's
50-50 like that in my book too. People are just, and then I opened up my Sunday shifts just for that. Like, you can book an appointment to pick the flash, and they love it. People really do love it. So it's nice that that's becoming a thing again.
I have an appointment tomorrow. The guy just wants to pick flash, so cool.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite appointments.
Yeah, no favorite. Homework. You can go to bed late. It's great.
Yeah, because you know what it is. It's like we used to be. I guess we've always kind of taken it home to an extent. You're always a tattooer. I always feel like I'm always a tattooer.
Yeah.
Whether I'm at the shop or not, I'm a tattooer. I'm usually reading a tattoo book or watching a documentary, something. I'm obsessed. Like, this is my thing, right? But you used to be able to just kind of leave the customer. The customer could only be in your head between 12 and 10 or whatever.
Whoa, you just dropping knowledge right now. Yes.
I'm not knocking customers. I'm not knocking anybody. But like now it's like DM, email. Like,
yes.
And it's, again, I appreciate it because it's people that want work. It's people that want to help me earn a living, and I love it. But at the same time, it's like, man, you don't get a break. No. And it can be up to us. Like sometimes I'll let them stack up. I'll let the DM stack up a bit. Like, I'll look at those tonight. You know, but I do try to get back to people the same day. I always get back to people within a few hours, because that's money. That's how you keep it going. Come in tomorrow, come in this week, Wednesday. You know, people are always shocked that I'm not booked for 3 months. And it's like, no, bro, that's all smoke and mirrors. That's all bullshit. Yeah. Like those people that are booked for 3 months, they also have 3 vacations booked. And, you know, it's like I work and I get back to people and I want you in, and I mean, I want your money, I want your
Yeah.
work. I
Yeah,
want to do
so
that cool
correct,
tattoo.
folks. We want your money.
Yeah, I
Well,
want
like
to
I
do
said,
that cool
And
tattoo
your
on
time
you
and your
too.
love and your affection too. Yes, all of the same.
Yeah,
I book pretty much just 2 tattoos a day in the middle of the day, so that way if somebody hits me up at night, I'll be like, yeah, come early, come at 12 tomorrow,
right.
or I have the late spot, which is usually, you know, I being in punk rock bands and shit my whole life, I got a shit ton of friends that, you know, that are on the friends and family plan, so I usually do them kind of on
Sure.
the after hours. But if I got a client that, so I like to be able to say like, yeah, I can tattoo you tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, so I will have, you know, tattoos booked for, you know, quite a few weeks in advance, but just 2 a day. So
Right.
that way, if you
Right.
call me and say like, yo, I'm in town, you know, especially with New York City, a lot of people are visiting. You know what I
Right.
mean? Now it's starting to come back. It's like, yo, I happen to be in town. You know, I get a souvenir.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Come in at 12 or coming in
Yeah.
at 8. You know what I mean? Because I have those middle ones booked, but the other times I try to slide them in.
Yeah. I love
Yeah.
when people stop in and their intention is to talk to you about the tattoo they want to get in a couple weeks. But if it's like, you know, a dagger with a snake around it, I'm like, let's just do it right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fuck yeah.
and they're like, oh, really? I'm like, yeah, I got somebody in 2 hours, but let's go. It's just a dagger with a snake. Like, we got 1,000 of those, you know?
Yeah, you don't have to redraw that one.
And sometimes they're down. Sometimes, you know, they're on their way somewhere else, or maybe they don't have the money right now, whatever. But and then people are kind of stoked on that too. They're like, yeah, he took me right away. It was cool, you know? And that's why I don't have some fucking wait list. I don't want that. I can't imagine having 3 months worth of people whose deposits I have that I now owe something to.
It's a nightmare.
And that I have to draw that shit. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
I
a
mean,
nightmare.
I spent a few
I've dug
hours today
myself my
drawing
own grave.
for the week. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
get it to an extent. I get it to an extent when people like, we have tattooers here at the shop, like that they're doing like very, very, very custom, large scale
Yeah. Yeah.
shit art. Like I get that. Like,
I
but for
work
like
with
somebody
that.
like who kind of tattoos like you or tattoos like me, like you're pretty much doing like, you know, the standards, like the classics. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
how are you booked for that many months?
That's why it's funny when I see kids that are just doing straight up Spalding and Rogers or whatever, who are like, you know, right now, like booking December. Like, what? What are you? Are you really tattooing that many people? Like, what am I doing?
Yes,
yes, yes.
But Sharky, to be fair, Sharky, you do a lot of large things, Sharky. You know what I mean? Like you're doing a lot of large scale work.
You do real drawing. You're doing real
I do.
drawing.
No, yeah, there's homework and shit involved in it.
Homework.
There's like
Yeah.
3 hours
I don't
of
do
draw
fucking
time
homework
before
at
the
all.
person fucking shows up.
Yeah.
I go like this, like, yo, take it off this wall right here.
My average tattoo is like 55 minutes to an hour and 20 minutes is what it'll take.
No, like my average tattoo is like 3 hours long.
Okay. Yeah, see, and that makes sense. And I get that.
Well,
I get that. But I'm, you know, we're talking like, yeah, you know, people doing palm hand size traditional tattoos, and it's stuff that's basically been drawn for us. Even if we customize it, I mean, we're always going to reference.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
Yeah.
And my boss, Morgan, who's been tattooing probably almost 20 years, she just recently switched back to that too. I feel like that, like what you guys are saying, I'm like, ultimately I'm going through this phase where I'm like, ooh, like doing all this shit with the tattoos, but really, she comes in the morning, she shows up at 10, she sits by the phone and waits for it to ring. The person says, I want a tattoo, she does them, and then she's out of here at 6 o'clock and gets to go home to her family.
Yeah.
And doesn't need to bring all that, like you were saying, that drama with the client and the email and the, you know, like
sometimes it's like disappointment, and it's like, I don't even want to draw this, much less tattoo it. And it's like, by the time 5 days later when you're doing the tattoo, you already hate the guy. Because
it does happen like that sometimes. It does.
But if it's like a same day, like dude just walked in, like whatever, you're just like, you draw it up. You don't even have time to be mad. You just, all right, cool. I got to get this hustle. Draw it, get it out, get to the next one. I just like that. I like that energy. Yeah, it's Yeah, I mean, like the other day, last Wednesday, I had one appointment right at noon. But right at noon, 3 people showed up that wanted walk-ins with me. So I just gave them times to come back, and it filled up my whole day, and it was awesome. Like
I
that's how I
love
like
that.
to work. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm the idiot that gives everybody my cell phone number. My cell
I
phone
think
number,
that shit's crazy. I think that's
my
crazy.
cell
No,
number is on my card.
you need to change your
They
number.
just say text me. They'll text me
Change your
at
number
3 a.m.
tomorrow.
At 3 a.m. I get text. I just text them back.
That's the
Like, yo, you
worst.
at the
Yeah.
bar? Are you at the bar? Like, but I really want to. I'm like, yo, are you at the bar? And I just keep asking them. Yeah, I'm at the bar. All right, text me when you're not at the bar. Bye bye.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You're wild as fuck, Richie.
It's
Yeah.
not wild. I'm just lazy. I don't want to fucking have to check 5 days a day.
Just like not opening up no emails.
Yeah, I got email. I got.
Yeah. Very few of my customers have my cell phone number. Definitely very selective. Yeah. There are people that become friends, because overall, I mean, as much as, we all like to bitch about customers and whatnot. I mean, most 99% of people I've met are like interesting in some way, are
Sure.
Yes.
good people, cool people. I mean, we all met those people that it's just like, what do you do again? Like, that's crazy.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
tell me about it. Like, tell me about that, Yeah.
That's why tattooers are jacks of all trades, because we get the information from all of these people from the source. So it's like, oh
Right.
yeah, I know about deep sea fishing off of African coast. Yeah, I know that because I spent 2 hours with a dude talking about that.
Oh, yeah.
It's so
I
true.
know
I
it's the world.
tattooed a guy that was the deep diver for a fiber optic cable company where he was going in the ocean and like helping them map the ocean floor so they could lay
That shit's
fiber
fucking
optic
crazy.
cable from here to Europe. And it's like, damn, really? Like, yeah, it's crazy. Just stuff like that. It's amazing. And then you might tattoo somebody who's like actually a pimp,
Yes.
or like, like,
Or somebody that thinks the world is flat.
yeah.
Yes. Unfortunately, yeah, we've met them. They're
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah.
Bless their hearts. They're sweet.
I like when somebody will start telling me about like, I'm not even gonna get into it, but like, I had like one fucking like really hardcore like QAnon guy. I couldn't believe what he was saying. Couldn't believe what he was saying.
I haven't
But
met any
apparently-
of those yet.
JFK Jr. is still alive. Just let you guys know.
Sure, he's on the island with fucking, Tupac and,
He's
Yeah.
behind it all.
Yeah, no problem. Guys, we did good. We're at an hour and a half.
Oh,
That's
wow.
a nice one. That's a big,
Cool.
Yeah, that's a good one.
juicy burger right there.
I feel like we didn't even get
We didn't scratch the surface.
that far.
Yeah, you gotta come back on
That
again.
means that you have earned yourself
definitely
episode 2. We're gonna get back to you
I
again. for
definitely
sure.
will. Like, you asked me a while back about how I got into tattooing and all that stuff, and I didn't even touch on it. So
Yeah, everything
Yeah.
was so good. I couldn't stop you.
Yeah.
So
But
what
yo,
we're gonna
come to
do?
New York. Now that shit's opening up. Come to New York. We'll go to Perfetto's.
yeah, I that's definitely gonna come. I mean, that's I love New York. It's my second favorite city, and that's where I've been the most. I've been there probably 40 times in 20 years, or over 20 years. Yeah, no, I'm definitely want to come out. I'm actually gonna be in Jersey in July on like a family trip,
Hey,
but I don't think I'll be able to make it over to Queens or Brooklyn or anything. But maybe we can meet up in the city. If do you go to the city or you just Queens?
Yeah. I'll go anywhere.
I
Yeah.
saw you in the city once, I think, at Daredevil.
Oh, we worked at Daredevil together.
Yeah. But I do want to make a tattoo trip out there. Even if I don't tattoo, I'd love to come and hang out, and we'd go by Perfetto's and stuff.
Well,
and
you're
do
welcome to
stuff.
tattoo here anytime you want. We got the
Yeah, man.
stations now.
there it is. That's what I wanted to hear. That's
Yeah.
it. And I'm gonna try and come out to Chicago in August and see if you're there too while I'm in the city. I would love to swing by. I'm gonna get that walk-in, folks. I'm gonna get one.
I'll be there.
I want one.
I don't have any trips planned or anything. I'll be around. Yeah. Are you
Fuck
tattooing
yeah.
up here?
I would like to. I don't know if you saw last week, but last week we had Deb, Roy Boy's wife, on here.
Oh,
She
yeah.
was like, you need to come up to Chicago. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'll fucking do
Yeah.
that.
She's over in Gary, like the Gary area.
Yeah.
Yeah, which isn't far. It's like
No.
40 miles.
No, but
Yeah,
I'll be on the road.
I got to go to Roy Boys back in 2007 and met him.
Damn, you got to see that chip where it got knocked down?
I got yeah. Yeah. It was awesome and scary.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
we drove out there, me and Nick and a couple other people, and we drive up, and he's out front sweeping the sidewalk.
Wow.
And right off the bat, we were like, hey, man, like Nick's like, hey, man, we work for Dale Grande, Chicago Tattoo, and I want to come just see the shop and meet you. And he's like, want to see the tigers? Right off the bat. Across the street where he kept the tigers. And I mean, this is in the middle of Gary, Indiana. It's a small city. It's burnt the fuck out. It's like they had riots in the 60s and never rebuilt. Like, it's like Camden, New Jersey or something, to put it in.
Shit. Yeah, I don't know about that.
And he's got tigers in this building that's just like a hollowed out storefront. So we walk in there, and it smells like death, like a zoo. It was pitch black. He turned the lights on. He keeps these tigers. He was keeping them in darkness. And there's like a boat, like a speedboat, and 2 or 3 Excalibur cars. You know what those are?
Mm-hmm.
They were like,
I don't. What is an Excalibur car?
They're
like wedding
like really
cars.
expensive. They kind of look like a Rolls Royce style.
Okay.
They're really expensive and exclusive. They didn't make very many a year and stuff, so they were very expensive cars. He had like 3 of those, like a Corvette. Anyway, back of the building, chain link fence from like Home Depot, with like a lock from Home Depot. And there's some fucking tigers. These tigers that are just there, and they're like, holy fuck. And then he's got pit bulls. There was pit bulls in the lot next to it. But the door's open, so the tigers and the pit bulls can see each other. It was
That's
nuts,
fucking
man.
outrageous.
And then the shop was nuts. He had people living in the shop, like kind of like these hypes that he would pay to like do stuff, and it was crazy. It was awesome.
I was legitimately shocked the entire time we were talking to that.
Oh, it's like the crazy, like the whole time we can't even.
I was like
jump
this, like,
in.
oh, God.
Yeah, it was just her stories are outrageous. This is outrageous.
Yeah, she
So-
was
She
at
got to a murder.
Yeah, it was like she like called herself real quick. She was like, "Oh, I can't finish that story." We're like, "Yeah,
Can't finish that story. I was like, oh, shit.
It was great."
yeah, Gary, Indiana, man.
Yeah,
It's a place.
I'm fucking going, man. I'm gonna be, road tripping for 2 months, and I was gonna work,
Nice.
but now that this
Let
show
me
has been
know.
going, I'm like, I just want to visit everyone we've talked to this whole time.
Yeah, let me know. Let me
Yeah,
know. I'll
absolutely.
be around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you been up here before?
Yeah, I used to go over to Deluxe Tattoo.
Okay.
And I worked over there.
That
I
was
had a
the first
homie over
shop I
there
worked
for a
at.
while.
That was
So
the first shop
it's
I worked
cool.
at in Chicago.
Oh yeah, so it's cool over there. I used to do a lot of train traveling, so like the main hub of all the trains meet out there.
Yep.
So I always
Yeah,
had like a
you-
3-hour over in that spot. So I just sit
Cool.
and watch the little duck boats go by.
Yeah. I'm trying to get rich to drive the caddy out here.
Rick!
Yeah, I'm going to do it.
Let's do
I'm going to
it.
do it now that I'm telling you now. I've been saying it. I'm going to start traveling a little bit more because now
I was gonna say
after
you've been
being
talking
cooped up for
shit.
this. I've been talking shit, but after being cooped up for this time, man, I'm ready to get out of Queens, even if it's just for a week.
Come to
Yeah.
Texas.
Texas scares me.
Okay, come the fuck. Okay.
Chicago
Well,
seems like a place
obviously,
I
Mario,
could.
you have an
You
invite
fit
to
in pretty
Texas,
good in
too.
Chicago. You fit in Chicago.
Yeah,
Chicago and Queens and Brooklyn are pretty similar places in a lot of ways.
yeah. Chicago doesn't really scare me. Texas scares me.
That's
Just the crazy-
should
the
be
crazy
opposite.
shit going on
That's fucking crazy. It's fine. It's fine. Folks, Mario, do you have any closing words? This has been great, by the way. Like, this is a dream come true. Thank you so
Yeah, I
much
had
for
fun.
this.
I had fun. Thank you. Yeah.
But
Thanks
do you
for
have any
having me.
closing words for the audience? I mean, they've been hanging on your ears. We haven't really lost many people.
I don't know. I'm not that guy. I'm not too good at politicking.
Okay. Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, I guess. I don't know. Thanks for having me. It was fun.
Yeah.
Sure.
Hopefully I'd like to come back and talk more with you guys, and
We'd
I
love
think we
to.
have pretty good,
Whatever you want.
pretty good rapport, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Open invite, whenever you want, bro.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah. And thanks for coming in like last minute. Folks, I mean, it was like 11 o'clock at night. I was like, oh shit. I was like, tomorrow's showtime. Like, can you do this, please?
Yeah. And shout out to my wife. She was very understanding.
Shout out. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
All right.
Yo, it's been real. Love you
Yes.
guys.
Good night,
Good night.
All right, I'll
folks.
see you guys
Thank you.
soon.
We'll see you next Monday. All right. Bye.